This week's Race of the Week is from Warden Law, Karting North East for the Rotax Grand Festival. The MiniMax Superheat was the pick of the bunch. A fairly gentle start, which builded to a crescendo on the final lap of the race as we saw at least 5 drivers fighting for the lead and brilliant racing in the second half of the race especially. Make sure you stick around to the final lap to see what happens.
Are we good for a start? The answer is yes. Away we go for 12 minutes plus 1 lap. Friend and McAndrew side by side. Brilliant start for Jensen Chalk as well. On the inside of row 2 is already hopped up into second place. It's a Strawberry Racing 1-2. The drivers head through the dogleg for the first time. Riley Murrow in the thick of it there.
Ooh.
A little bit of a touch, I think, with Harry Taylor.
Yes.
Down the inside as well. I think it's been a good start for Ollie Spencer. There is the number 4 seed, Harry Taylor, who's had a difficult second half of the season, has got it all to do now in this superheat.
Yes, indeed. Albie Friend literally disappeared up the road in every single race yesterday, but with Oliver Spencer in that white race suit for the KR Sport team, there he is, driver number 8. He was busy fighting his way from the back of the grid in every single heat race yesterday. This is the first time that Spencer is starting from the front. Can he take the fight to Albie Friend? That is the question. Apparently, again, I am told, sources in the Strawberry Awning tell me that if Albie wins every single race, Stackhouse will smile later on.
That is official.
It's official, apparently. It's never been seen before, but he might.
So, on to the second lap of this one. Here's your fight between the 1-2-2 of Riley Murrow and Jack Collinson. Jack Collinson on home soil. We've got our first example of Sam Pollitt Racing versus Hunter Motorsports. Make sure that you've got your good spectacles on today to tell those two teams apart. Down the inside, the number 116 of Hasnain Khan, who had a good run yesterday, 9th, 6th and 13th across his 3 heats.
And can I just say, that was a good move there from Luca Holmes-Ballack and Tom Reed. Tom Reed picking up 2 places in 1 corner. And there goes Tom again. 3 places in 2 corners. And I say, in the background there's somebody going off. It's the number 191 of Hartlepool's Jack Collinson for the Sam Pollitt Racing team. I know Tom, he had an up and down day yesterday, and Mark Baines at Strawberry Racing was in Mark's own inimitable way was encouraging Tom to be a little bit more aggressive and go for the moves and not hesitate. Well, and as a fellow Yorkshireman, Andrew, you will know that Yorkshiremen have a certain way of communicating their feelings passionately.
We do.
And that tactic has worked for Tom Reed, who now moves himself up into 9th position. But this is something I haven't said all day. We've got a battle at the front of the MiniMax field.
Well, this is what we didn't see yesterday, because Oliver Spencer, whilst he had very good race pace, had to start each of the heats from the back of the grid, having been disqualified from timed qualifying for being underweight. Oliver Spencer is now challenging Albie Friend, the dominant force that is Albie Friend here in the superheat. Now, to be clear, Albie Friend does not need to win this race to be on pole position later on this afternoon, because he's had a perfect run through all of the heats yesterday. He can afford to fall a couple of positions back, even with the double points in effect in this one. But I think for pride and momentum, Henry, he is not going to want to allow Oliver Spencer any chance to get momentum ahead of the final.
I mean, I think this is simply a case of what happens when you take British Kart Championship winning mechanic, he's got the medal to prove it, George Friend, off the spanners on a big day such as this. Suddenly, Albie doesn't know where he is. He was allowed breakfast this morning, you know. Lee Taylor's going to absolutely kill me when he sees me. But certainly let's not take anything away. Oliver Spencer driving extremely well. And this is interesting. So Oliver, he's been passing people throughout the weekend. He has a little look there, but he hasn't had time to study Albie Friend's kart because he's been battling his way through the field. I think Oliver would do well, now that he's got the pace, to sit and watch for a little bit. Emerson McAndrew-Uren is closing in as well in 3rd position. Then Edward Haynes in 4th. Edward Haynes at the moment, the best placed non-qualified driver for the Grand Finals. Jensen Chalk in 5th. Alex Goodson up in 6th position. And I think Nicole was telling me this morning, part of the paddock gossip, I think Alex's mum has had to go because I think Alex's sister is starting university, so that would be a good leaving present, so to speak. Max Gilman is 8th, then Tom Reed, Holmes Ballack, Hasnain Khan, Miles Burton also having to start from the back of the grid yesterday. He's done very well to get up into 12th. Then it's Joshua Cook, Max Jolly. They're 2 drivers moving up from MicroMax to MiniMax for this event. So a little bit further down the order than they would normally be, but that's because they're in a new class. The same can be said for Sebastian Behrman, who's in 17th position. Harry Taylor's down to 15th, and there is a move. The 1-2-2 Riley Murrow trying to get past Jensen Chalk and succeeding, and the 1-2-6 of Alex Goodson goes with him.
Lovely move there from Alex Goodson. Had the momentum round into Horseshoe, went round the outside to take 6th place there. A little bit further back, Tom Reed trying to find a way past Max Gilman for 8th place. News from race control, +5 second penalty for kart number 6. That is Luca Holmes Ballack, currently 10th on the road. A little bit further up the order. Here is your fight between Tomorrow and down the inside for the race lead, Spencer. Okay, Oliver Spencer has gone for it. He's been patient. He's made the move into Senna 2. What does Albie Friend do now? Now, there is something to be gained if you're Oliver Spencer. Right now, he's 4th in the final intermediate classification. Like we said with the Micromax race, that is a return of 4 points. He'll go from 31 down to 27. That might give him 3rd place on the grid ahead of Jensen Chalk. Emerson McAndrew-Uren has joined the party now. This is what we love about MiniMax in 2024. Friend's going to go around the inside. Shuts the door to Spencer. Through goes Emerson McAndrew-Uren, and all of a sudden Albie Friend is down to 3rd.
And Emerson McAndrew-Uren and Albie Friend are good friends, but Albie Friend no slack there. Albie just sort of went for the move, it didn't work, then understeered a little bit wide, and Emerson McAndrew saw it and thought, I'm taking that line, forcing Friend to back out a little bit, and Albie Friend, after dominating yesterday, is now got Edward Haynes and Riley Murrow, and I love this. Look at this, 5 different teams battling for the top 5 positions. KR Sport, Dan Holland Racing, Strawberry Racing, MLC Motorsport, and then Sam Pollitt Racing. Absolutely love it. MLC Motorsport haven't got a driver at Sarno yet. Could Edward Haynes, who qualified last year, go back this year? It'll be very, very interesting indeed, as we have got still 4.5 minutes to go. And you know what? Behind the front 5, Alex Goodson, Jensen Chalk, Max Gilman, they're not out of it yet either. I have to say, I think word from race control as Haynes now passes Friend, and suddenly Friend has lost his momentum. He's lost his cool, and he's going backwards. It's not often you see this from Albie Friend. I have had word from race control. Apparently, Luca Holmes Ballack got his 5-second penalty. He was texting his girlfriend Harriet during the race. Don't text and drive, kids. It's not allowed.
4 minutes to go. I tell you what, Albie Friend's pole position in the final is under a little bit of threat here. This is what can happen with a superheat with the double points. Friend, who had a double-digit lead before this race, is now on 10 points. If Emerson McAndrew-Uren can find a way through past Oliver Spencer, he's going to steal pole position from Albie Friend here. That's going to give Emerson a bit of encouragement. Oliver Spencer defends to the inside, subtly there into Senna 1. That's good news if you're Edward Haynes, because the gap that's at about 0.6 of a second is going to close with this. This has blown MiniMax wide open. Yesterday was a dominant day for Strawberry Racing. How things can change in less than 24 hours. Down through Gasworks into the Horseshoe once again on lap number 10. Albie Friend has got to get back in the rhythm, got to get himself up a couple of positions just to give him that safety, that buffer in the FIC. Spencer still holds the lead. This is a very, very intriguing end to this race.
I know, I've got to say, you can just hear in the background the little patter. That's Lee Taylor running to the airport to get back here for the final to light Albie up, I've got to say. But this is not to take anything away from Spencer's drive, he overtook more drivers than yesterday. He was the driver that Nicole mentioned him in her intro this morning. The most impressive driver that she saw yesterday. And again, she, as an ex-driver, she knows what she looks for different things in the karts that we do. Because I never raced Rotax back when I was racing, so Nicole was racing up to last year. She looked for different things, and she spotted something, a fire burning in Oliver Spencer. And Emerson McAndrew-Uren, though, is closing in. We've got 2 minutes to go, and the top 11 are separated by 3.9 seconds. Fantastic. The 11th place is the aforementioned Harry Taylor, who had a spin earlier on. Hasnain Khan is their new leader. Emerson McAndrew-Uren, is he going to keep it? Spencer, and Spencer was squeezing in, but I got to say, I think maybe could have backed out of that one a little bit. Spencer wasn't giving him the room, and there was 2 kart lengths at the inside, but the apex of the corner was approaching, and the apex only fits 1, and that means that Edward Haynes has moved into top spot. There's another person who's missing, Jordan Baines. He's busy wearing Mickey Mouse ears out in Disneyland in Florida. What's he doing? He provides the WAP for Edward Haynes. You've just had a pair of if you're in Florida watching this, and I know lots of people are, if you've just seen a pair of Mickey Mouse ears thrown high in the air, that was Jordan Baines celebrating Edward Haynes moving into the top spot.
It's the Disney magic that's pushing Edward Haynes on right now, and it would elevate him onto the 3rd row of the grid for the final. Friend down the inside, that's more like it from Albie Friend. Back up to 3rd place. He's got his safety buffer back now, with Emerson McAndrew-Uren down in 8th place now. The FIC live standings are thus 8 for Friend, 23 for Emerson McAndrew-Uren. Jensen Chalk, again, this is what I love about these super heats.
Great.
It's a longer race. It can flip a situation on its head. And Jensen Chalk now could be the beneficiary, with Oliver Spencer now dropping to 4th. Jensen Chalk could get himself back onto the front row. He can find a way past this pack of karts here, including Goodson, Murrow, Friend. Spencer needs to find a way through past Edward Haynes. He's going to have a look down the inside into St. John's.
Brilliant.
Lovely stuff
Excellent
from Oliver
move.
Spencer. Back into the lead, and back again comes Friend.
Right, the communication has been given to Albie Friend. He knows Lee Taylor's threatening to come over and light him up. He's got back into his groove as Friend, and now chasing Spencer down. Haynes down to 4th, and look at the Sam Pollitt Racing number 122, Riley Murrow up into 3rd position. Do you know something? The lead group are getting closer and closer together. Tom Reed in 10th place is 1.7 seconds down. The clock strikes 0, and Friend, from being nowhere, is back in contention. We start the final lap with Spencer, and around the outside tries to go Albie Friend, and they clipped, and Friend is out. That could be pole position of the Grand Festival gone for Albie Friend.
Absolutely, because he's going to drop down the order. You know, if he's outside the top 10, he's going to be under threat from losing what was a huge lead. He didn't need to go in. He went all in on red. It came up black. Riley Murrow is now your race leader. Edward Haynes has still got a chance here of taking this super heat. Spencer's there. Goodson. Emerson McAndrew-Uren might not know it, but he's currently sitting in a position that would give him pole position for the final later on today. Emerson McAndrew-Uren's gone round the outside to the inside of his teammate for 4th place. That could be a key move. Riley Murrow is going to come out of the final corner, win the super heat, but MiniMax has been turned on its head in the space of 12 minutes. Where is Albert Friend going to finish? Way down, P17. Emerson McAndrew-Uren is on pole position for the final.
Insane last lap